Give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel who will and teach well, to the Akims and highways and byways, and those pushing this word in truth, sincerity, to the brothers and sisters in the truth. Just want to do a quick food for thought, and it's to do with the word fallout and left the truth. And what you find at times is that, or what I find, is that brothers are getting the two mixed up, and it's normal with a specific group of people. You find like if you no longer fellowship with them, you no longer talk with them, then all of a sudden they call you a fallout in the sense of you've left the truth, and there's a big difference. If me and a brother has a disagreement, we no longer speak. I can't then use that to say, oh well, he's a dropout. He's he's no longer in the truth. Only time will tell, because that can happen. And you can have a disagreement with someone based on whatever it may be, and you see that over time, well, the spirit may have left them. They've left the truth, or someone could have left your body, and over time you see that the spirit has left them and they're no longer in the truth. But for the most part, people tend to say, tend to think if you are no longer fellowshipping with them, then all of a sudden you're this, you're that, you're fallout, meaning you've left the truth. And that's not the case. So I was looking up the understanding of fallout. It says, what does it mean to fall out? It says a personal or social separation as between opposing fractions. Yeah, so like I was saying, you and someone else could, or a group, individual or group, could have a disagreement and you end up going your separate ways. Yeah, that's a fallout. But brothers be using that as if you've now left the truth, and that's something totally different. It says if you fall out with someone, you have an argument and stop being friendly with them. You can also say that two people fall out. You can also say that two people fall out. Yeah, says she fell out with her husband. So there's no longer that seeing eye to eye. There's a disagreement between the two. But that doesn't then relate to you've left the truth. And this is what you're seeing. It says, what does the phrase fall out mean? It says to argue with someone and stop being friendly with them. Fall out with, he left home after falling out with his parents. Fall out over she'd fallen out with her boyfriend over his ex-girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. So it's just, trying to get an understanding of what that term means, because it's being misused. Just because I may have been with a specific group and, I'm no longer with them, that don't mean I've fallen out of the truth. That just means I've fallen out with that group or individuals in that group. And there's a difference, and we need to learn the difference and stop using the fact that you and Pacific brothers or even sisters may have your disagreements, you may separate and go your separate ways. That don't mean they've now left the truth. And that's how I tend to find that people are using that word fallout. Yeah, it's a fallout, it's dropped out of the truth. No, we just don't agree. That's all that is, man. So, yeah, that was just running on my mind. I've seen a few videos where people may have left certain fractions or may disagree, and then next thing you know, they're being called a fallout and being termed as someone who's actually left the truth, where it's just a case of we don't agree, we don't see eye to eye anymore. Yeah, so I just wanted to touch on that because that was kind of on my mind. Lord willing, this was edifying. I'm going to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Wahat, Rakar, Kadash, Kwam Yasha Allah.